Hey man, it's Along the Line podcast. I am Matt. This is Trey. What's up, Trey? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, dog. Another day, another dollar.
I know, right? So what's on the line today?
Today, we're gonna take it beyond the lines. We're gonna talk about the happiness that men receive, about men's happiness. We're gonna talk about the lifestyle that our lifestyle we was raised on isn't the same as the lifestyle our kids was raised on. But I'm still
So
gonna hit
different.
y'all off with some of the NBA scores, stats, keep y'all up to date. So jump back on the Thursday. The Magic beat the Hornets. Wizards lost to the Thunder, of course. Yeah, Warriors took a L to the Bucks. And the Spurs, who still undefeated, beat the Heat. So, but on that day, what was that? Let me see. On Thursday, some of the highest performers, you got Victor Wembanyama with 27 points, 18 rebounds. Rollins from Milwaukee dropped 32. Is he a rookie or a sophomore?
Nah, he been in the league maybe 3 or 4 years.
Uh,
Cause he was with the Warriors, he was with Washington, and now he with the Bucks.
Shea dropped 31. Bam dropped 31 because it's Bam's team. 31 and 10 rebounds.
Yeah, because Tyler's hurt.
Yeah, all right. All right, we might try to
And Bam taking a leap too.
because it's Bam's team, bro. I'm trying to tell you this. But you be on
What?
that. You be on that, bro. All right, anyways, and then
I would love for it to be Bam's team, but it's not at the moment.
what was that? On Friday, it's Friday. We ain't got no job. You ain't got Friday. The Celtics beat the Sixers by 1. Hawks beat the Pacers by 20.
This is NBA Cup games.
Yes, yes. Raptors beat the Cavs. And the Bulls whooped up on the Knicks. Hey, ain't the Bulls undefeated as well?
Yeah. Yep. I think the Bulls undefeated too, and they playing the Knicks right now. I was watching a little bit of that before I turned on the movie.
And then the Lakers whooped up on the Grizzlies.
They didn't
Luca
whoop up on
Luca's
the
back.
Grizzlies.
Hey, all right.
They beat the Grizzlies. They don't whoop up on them like SB. Get it correct, man. Don't be disrespectful in how you name these stats, bro.
Yeah, the Suns beat the Jazz. And the Trailblazers beat the Nuggets. Hey, low key, the Trailblazers are decent. They're a nice team to watch.
Apparently,
And then the Clippers beat the Pelicans by 2. So top performers from that night, you got Luka the Don coming back, dropping 44.
stop calling him Luca the Don.
That's his nickname.
That ain't his nickname. Who gave him that nickname?
I don't know. It just
I
appeared.
ain't never heard nobody call him Luca the Don.
All right, Luka the
But you,
Don. Luka the Don got 44 points with
ain't nothing wrong
12.
with Don. Just
Bro, can you
Luca.
stop being rude?
Okay, my bad. My bad.
All right, we're gonna try this again. Luka the Don scored 44 points and 12 rebounds, 6 assists. D Book had 36, 9 assists, 6
Well, we
rebounds.
know he can put up
We
buckets.
know that. That's all he could do. Kawhi, 34, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Hey, Giddy, 32, 9 assists, 10 rebounds. And Tyrese Maxey, 26, 14 assists, 8 rebounds.
The Giddy contract is starting to look like a steal. I think it's like 4 years, 100 million.
I
It's
mean,
starting to look like a steal, bro.
that's still decent. He
Not in
wasn't,
today's NBA.
but
And he where he going, like if he continues to play like this, he's like in the all-star realm, right?
hey, where he's going is not where he's been.
But I get what you're saying, but it's gonna look like a steal,
It
right?
should because when he came over, he was not like leading the team. You saw I
I
know what
hear
you're
you.
saying. It's a
That's what I'm
steal.
saying.
Just like when Steph contract at first, right? Well, his second
His second
contract,
contract, his
it was
rookie
a
extension. Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
steal.
I yeah, because he wasn't yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying it's a good contract for the Bulls. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying he deserved more. I'm just saying it looks like a steal now.
Yeah. So then yesterday, the Kings, finally got a win against the Bucks by 2.
Right after they beat the Warriors. Bullshit.
Timberwolves beat the Hornets.
You feel me?
Magic beat the Wizards. Pacers beat the Warriors.
You know what? I'm just tired of them. I'm tired of them.
Hey, bro, get it off your chest.
Nah, I have to because let me tell you something. I understand the NBA gave them this crazy schedule. They only get 2 days off. I think they off today, they off tomorrow, and then they play Tuesday. This is the only time they get 2 days off in a row in the month of November. Cool, I understand that. But godly, you got to play with some type of pride. And I watched that game, and they looked uninterested. they looked old, and they looked like I don't know, Steph was played awfully.
Terrible.
And he was like a negative, like I ain't even talking about like how bad he shot. Because normally when Steph shoots poorly, he still is a plus and a plus minus. He had a negative plus minus. We was down when he went out the game and was up 10 when he came back in the game and then lost the game.
Well, we know it might be some of that betting scandals going on with Wardell.
Okay, don't
All
even
right.
start those rumors. That's don't even start those rumors. But yeah, I think yeah, man, I think that I don't know. They just old, uninterested, and just you can't lose the games you're supposed to win.
Definitely supposed to win against the Pacers right now.
They were supposed to beat the Pacers and the Bucks because Giannis didn't play. Like you can't lose the games you're supposed to win. And so like last year, 2 years ago, they lost the games that they were supposed to win, which put them, but they ended up in the as the sixth seed. Last year, they won the games they were supposed to win, but still lost a lot of games, ended up as the seventh seed. I don't know what's gonna happen with these fools.
Well, that's
They
supposed
gotta
to
they
your
gotta
boy's
play with
supposed to
some more
pick up
pride.
and take over, dog. That's what he's there. He's the young guy supposed to pick them up when they need their energy player. That's why he ain't gonna get the money he
Who?
wants. Kaminga.
I don't know, man. I don't it's hard for me to blame it on Kaminga because when he does try to do those things, this is just dumb, right? And so it's like he has to play within the system to really be like consistently effective. We can't ask him to go back and forth, right? I think that's part of the issue of his fit is we're asking him to go back and forth, and then when it's not time for him to like be ball dominant, he it's harder for him to switch. He's still young, and so I don't think that's fair to him to ask him to go back and forth like that. Like when he's been playing well this season, he's been playing within the system. He's been doing all the little things like rebounding, knocking down open jump shots, and stuff like that. But I also think the biggest issue yesterday was the last two games of Al Horford. Al Horford looked like we should have picked up somebody else
He
because he didn't.
what did you expect for him to be?
Yeah, but he didn't make not one open jumper in 2 games. And so, like, that kinda is an important part of what we're trying to do this year is Al Horford knocking down the open corner 3 or open top of the key 3, and, like, his jump shot has been off. And so, we don't ask him to do much. We play 20 minutes. Calm down. We ain't asking him to be a core contributor, but we do ask that you knock down the open three-point shots you get at
Man,
least 40% of them,
isn't he the
33% of them, 35% of them.
isn't he the second oldest player in the NBA right now?
Not the point.
That's very good point. All right, enough of
The
your
point
Warriors
is
rant.
shoot, make the open jump shot, man.
Rockets beat the Celtics, and then you got the Mavericks losing to the Pistons. So we go on to the stats from Saturday night. It's not a high performing night. Uh, I'm not sure from Dallas.
University of Memphis Tiger alone.
Yeah, it's your boy, your school. 33, 2 assists, 10 rebounds, and a loss.
Oh, dang. You ain't did nobody else like that. But because he went to the U of M, that's how you do. Okay, keep going.
Jackson from the Pacers, 25,
I thought you
10,
was
and
talking about
6.
Jackson Dart.
Cade, 26
No, it's not. This
rebounds.
is the NBA. People can shoot.
Miles Bridges dropped 30. So he's continuing the ball. I thought he was just showing out in the preseason.
You don't
And
watch the Hornets, bro. He was
Paulo
balling last year.
Banchero, 28, 4 and 11, 2 blocks. Uh,
He
Pretty average
finally
night.
showed up this season. Congrats, Paolo. Thanks for coming to the NBA.
What's with you in the hate with Paulo, bro?
I'm not hating on Paolo. Paolo's great. He should have been the number one pick, and he's
He
been
was
trash this
the
season.
number one pick.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He should have been. Like I'm not saying that nobody else was picked. I'm saying like he rightfully was picked number one without saying all of those words. But he been trashed the first part of the season. It's fine. He's showing
He
up. It's okay.
he been injured. Last year he was injured the first part of
I
the
said,
season.
I'm talking about this season. Ain't nobody say the only person that's going back to the last season is you. I'm just
All right,
saying.
bro.
He
He
was
averaged 23.4.
exactly. He should be averaging more than that.
What do you want him to average?
He's a star. Paolo got needs to average between north of 25. So he needs to average 26 to 28 points a game, a minimum of 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Like he's a superstar. He's supposed to be a superstar. And so like I'm not going to pat him on the back because he scored 28 once. Nah, I got higher expectations for my superstar.
Bro, this is
That's
what
it. That's all. That's
it's
it.
Is year 4 for him?
That don't mean anything. And it's time.
Alright,
Who you
bro.
think gonna lead us against Paris in 2028?
Stop. You know who it is. He in Minnesota.
Yeah, but he needs somebody else.
And that other guy is in Indiana.
They are both short, bro. Come on. You missing it.
You
We
got
need Paolo
JT.
to
You
step
got
up. We need
JT.
Chet to step up. Ain't nobody AD gonna be hurt. He hurt now.
I will not say AD. I said JT, Jason Tatum.
Still too little.
Jason Tatum, 6'10".
Let's take him in 16. But you be making up heights.
Bro,
Maybe a
remember
little
he
bit.
grew that extra he grew?
Is he really 16?
Yes.
Now let's confirm before you start saying stuff because you swear up and down Steph Curry is 6'4".
I thought he was 6'4".
Now I know Jason Tatum is huge, so he's 6'8", like I thought. Jason
Oh
Tatum six
my
eight.
god, the NBA had him listed as 6'10".
He's 6'8". Jason
So
Tatum is 6'8".
anybody out there listening, right? Can y'all confirm that Jason Tatum was once listed at 6'10"?
All I know is, don't you tell me how tall anybody is no more, okay? We just gonna look it up. What's
You got
Paolo?
it,
Oh,
bro.
Benchero.
He's 6'10".
Let's see. Let me check. Okay, Paolo is 16. Yeah, and actually, he ain't tall enough either. So we got to get us some footers,
We
bro.
don't have no American centers, bro. You got
How tall is Chet?
7'1".
I'm not asking you. What's Chet last name?
Holmgren. Just type in CHET, bro.
How to spell Chet? It is right.
7'1", like I said.
7'1". You didn't say 7'1". You
I
said 7.
1. Come on, man. All right, man. Nobody got time to argue with you. You just upset because your Warriors been getting their ass whooped the past couple of games. So you want to take this animosity out on me.
I am upset that the Warriors been getting their ass whooped. I am not taking that animosity out on you. Where is Zach Edey from?
I believe he's American, but nobody want his sorry ass.
That's not the point.
He's too slow.
Nope, he's Canadian.
Yeah. Go up there with Shea.
So he's going to be on their team. So I think he was supposed to play in this Olympics, but he ended up sitting out because he was going to the NBA.
But good for him. Yeah. Nobody cares.
Well, you gotta chill and stop talking mess about my Memphis Grizzlies, bro. Chill out.
Yeah, I don't like him because he went to Purdue. It has nothing to do with him being on the Memphis Grizzlies. It's because he went to Purdue.
What does that have to do with you?
I don't like
Let's
Purdue.
just talk about that. Why? This unpack this. What does
No, we're not
Purdue?
about.
What is your
No,
Purdue hate?
I don't want to.
No, because I want to understand. Because all you people from Indiana and Illinois always hate on Purdue folks, and I don't understand.
So mine is personal. All right, we'll go through. It's a little short story. All right. Well, I graduated high school with 4.0, 4.1. So it was a little higher, right? I applied for Purdue.
I swear that man will take every opportunity to brag on himself.
I don't.
I graduated with 4.1, a little bit higher actually. That
Hey,
man, all
anyways,
right, okay,
all I'm
Steph,
saying is,
Ja,
so
shoot like Steph, athleticism like
yeah,
Ja,
don't
and
forget.
as
Hey,
intelligent
so
as Albert Einstein.
I applied for the school, and they was like, "Your GPA." They said everything was good. My GPA wasn't high enough to get in. I said, "What the what?" So my GPA is not high enough, but whatever. I digress. I ended up getting a scholarship to another school, Detroit Mercy. So I was going to use I was going to try to be like a walk on for their track team.
Mm.
Um, and now I do all that, but I did have like a scholarship I can go to any school in Indiana for free, but I ended up going to Detroit, which was the best thing for me because I only did a year there in Detroit and then end up going down the military path.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah.
I thought you got out of the, I thought you finished school and then went to the military.
Nah, I did a year at Detroit, then left, and joined the military.
Well, one of these days we have to talk about why. What made you choose that versus?
Yeah, I ain't saying that over the internet.
Okay.
So yeah, so we need to hop into what we about to hop into. So we're gonna get into this men's happiness. So it's pretty
Yeah.
much Carlos Miller talking about men not what is it? Matt, this is more your thing.
He was talking about like men don't get happiness. Like our job is to make sure everybody else is happy. And so with that, we sacrifice our own happiness to make that happen. And so we're going to react to Carlos talking about that and then kind of give our own thoughts and our own perspective of that ideology. Roll the clip, Jerry.
Bro, I'm trying to man, you know it's been a long day, so don't even act like that.
No, I'm just joking. That's why I called you Jerry.
Of the happiness you gonna have to give up to make sure the family good. That's part of our journey as men. And you start to realize that, okay, that feeling, that emptiness, that hurt that I had, that's nothing. Cause I know that I can deal with it. I can take that pain. If that means my son gonna be straight, my daughter gonna be happy, my wife good, I'll take that for them. And a lot of men don't get to that point as fast as I guess the world wants us to.
Do you feel like that's gonna have an effect on you where it's like you're the only person in the household that's suffering, that's not getting an outlet or somebody to lean on?
Hey man, that's why your dad cry when you get grown and you tell him you love him.
Mm.
That's why granddad sit there and he don't know what to say when you say, I love you, Papa. He just now he didn't know that moment was the one that was gonna make him, you know what I mean? Sacrificing for this family for the last 40 years. Is that healthy?
So let
No,
me tell you,
yeah, so
let me say my
we don't
valid,
know.
so my addiction comes in the form of when I walk in the house and my daughter running to me and my son face light up when he see me.
Yeah.
Those small things is my validation.
Now I'm different. Say it. I need to hear you say it. Why should it only be the women that are getting that throughout their life, and we have to wait until we're in our rocking chair to finally get that verbal
Who
validation?
is that?
I think
'Cause
I
that
could chose
accent is
someone in life
crazy.
to show me.
There's certain parts of the happiness.
Yeah, man, that's deep. Why you clicking and clacking? Oh, we
That
can
shit
hear
that
all of
loud.
that.
My bad. My bad. My bad.
Mouse gets stuck, ain't it? but no, but no, that's deep as a mug, bro. And so I think we have to have these conversations about like what it means to be a husband or father. And I think what we saw in that clip connects this idea of husband father to this idea of happiness and the sacrifices that fathers and husbands make in their life. And so just a couple of different things. I wanted to kind of pose a question. I ain't even not even a thoughts yet. Just where do you see happiness show up in that space of a husband father for you or not?
Where does it show up?
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. So I don't think that my kids can appreciate the things that they have right now or that they're aware of what they have because it's the norm. So I'm not looking for any appreciation or acknowledgement of what I do from my kids. My wife and I, we have learned to show each other appreciation by just small compliments to each other. Like, hey, I see you working hard. Hey, I see what you're doing. Like, hey, hey, I see you cooked for us tonight. Where I appreciate that. You know, it's just the small things. You don't want to always try to go for a home run because it's not always about the home runs. Home runs come far and few. It's about the small base hits, pretty much. You know, let's just try to get on base and score. So that's my thing is just making acknowledgments. You don't always have to be a big, huge thing. I think even last night yesterday, my wife was like, well, actually, we had a conversation. What was it? I was like, dang, babe, remember we went to that nice ass restaurant? And she made a little statement, was like, yeah, we was going out, but it's been far and few lately. So I was like, dang, I've been slipping. So that's me, her happiness, the little small stuff, little small date nights. Yesterday, it was like, hey, let's go somewhere, right? I cleaned up the house. I let her relax, and I was like, hey, find somewhere else to go. And we just went to a little taco shop, little not a shop, but a little taco restaurant, ate, came back home and relaxed and watched TV. And so that's happiness for me right now. It's just spending quality time with my wife, seeing my wife happy, making sure that she fulfill her dreams, whatever it is. So me right now, my peace and happiness come from seeing her being happy because I'm really complacent. I'm not saying like I'm not complacent in life, but I've accomplished the primary things that I want to do. So the major things can wait because I can make those things happen whenever. So that's just me right now. My happiness right now is just seeing my wife happy, seeing my kids happy. But I'm really waiting for my kids to get grown and living on their own so they can be like, dang, dad, yeah, you and moms did this for us. I really appreciate, y'all doing this and that for us.
But that's a really long time.
It
That's a
is.
really long
It
time.
is, but, it's being a parent is a marathon.
It is. And I think this is good because we were very different here. So, like, I don't know if this is like, so for me, happiness is kind of like it has to be a fulfillment type thing. Like, I have to be like seeking something to be fulfilled. And
Mhm.
so I think about like, so happiness kind of creates a holistic approach to me. It's not just like home life, but it's like professional life too. And so like my home life has been really good because like I've been able, like everybody is good. Like everybody at home is good. My kids are pursuing their dreams. My wife is being super accomplished in the work that she does. Like she's like at yeah, I can't even say that. She's super accomplished in the work that she does. And then like I've been just kind of cool, cool. Was just like floating through life for the past like year or so, doing my thing, just coming home, chilling, and not pursuing anything. And so it's like everybody was good, but there was a lack of like feeling of happiness, but it didn't have anything to do with home, but it had everything to do with like trying to figure out what is the next thing that I'm supposed to accomplish in my life. And so I think that that does a part of it. And actually think that I've struggled with this idea of wanting to accomplish something else and only wanting to cheer for my kids as they accomplish what they want to do. And I think there is a level of sacrifice that comes in that, and a willing sacrifice because like I love to see them do the things that they do, but I don't have time to do anything else. Right. And so there are times where I think about, man, I could do this or I could do that. And what that requires of me either not be able to show up for them in a certain way or stay up really late to do that thing
Mhm.
or get up really early to do that thing. So it requires some sacrifice from me in order to do it all. And I think that is sometimes the struggle of a father. Is that we want to do it all. We want to be this like big provider. And I think in my mind, it's never enough. To me, yeah, for me, what we have is never enough. And so which over this time, you'll understand that I struggle with contentment, so like nothing is ever enough. And so like I feel like I need to give more. I need to provide more for my family at all times. And so my wife is a really good balance for me. She'd be like, no, we're fine. But my thoughts is always to provide more. But I ain't gonna wait until they get grown to hear their satisfaction. Like I'm like the other guy. I want to hear it now. So like I fuss at my kids and I make sure that they understand. One, I work in schools where kids don't have the opportunities that they have, and I make sure that they understand it. I make sure that they understand it. I make sure that they experience them or they're around them, those students at times. And so I think that creates a level of appreciation. And I don't know, my son, he's a boy, have no idea. I don't think he understands anything that's happening about that. But my daughter is very cognitive of this. Conscious of this is a better word. Conscious of this, just like she can like an experience that she's had multiple of. Like one of her friends had never done that. And the first time they were able to do that was with us. It's a small thing. It's not even like a life changing thing, but it's a small thing. And my daughter was able to articulate like her thankfulness that she's been able to do this multiple times. But she was also able to articulate that she was thankful that this person got to do this with us. And so I think that's just cool to see her understand like what's going on and to know like I'm gonna have somebody that's gonna take care of me when I get old if I need to. But it was funny because my daughter's like making this play like I'm gonna buy this house and y'all gonna stay there and do this, that, the third right now. And I was like, I went to my wife. I was like, we gotta make sure that she realized that she doesn't have to take care of us at some point. I want her to live her life,
It'll change.
which I hope. I don't know. She's different. You've met her.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that's their age group, so because I think
Okay.
that my child who's around the same age is gonna he's the caring one, right?
Uh-huh.
And shout out to you and my wife for making me aware that that's just who he is,
Mhm.
right? So I try to be like, "Man, why you act like that?" You know? What is
Yeah.
it? That's just who he is. I've tried not to deter him from being who he is, you know? But on another note, I'm gonna go back to something you said about constantly pursuing, and pretty much what you said was you can't enjoy the now.
Yeah.
You're always chasing the more, right? You're
Mhm.
always chasing. So here was my eye opener for enjoying now and what I work for. So in my 20s, I went to school to get my bachelor's, right? So I did join the military, but then I was like, man, I need to get out. So I hit school hard, right? During that time, it was like some like my daughter was she was kind of like neglected, right? Because I was in school, my wife was in school, and then we had babies, more kids. And so it was like she was kind of neglected. Not in the sense of like she still we took care of her, you know, but it was just like the attention wasn't there. So me as a parent, I feel bad that there was that time when she was neglected. So also with my oldest son, there's time when he was neglected as well because I was career chasing, right? You know, trying to do all that. But now I've learned like, hey, bro, you in a decent spot, right? And you're good enough and young enough to where by the time they get older, right, you can start pursuing your career heavily again, right? So we don't really need anything right now. But I mean, I am still bettering myself, right? Because I am still in school again, but in the same time, most of my attention goes to my family. So I just had that eye opener awakening that, hey, you need to enjoy this moment with your kids. Give them the things that you felt like you missed, which was a lot of just be there for them all the time. Cause my parents, they had to work all the time, you know, and I appreciate and love my parents, but you know, that just made me who I am. And that's gonna roll into our second segment on don't put your trauma on your kids. But
Yeah.
that was just my eye opener, Matt, is that
No, it's funny because I want to kind of like continue that conversation because I think where we differ is it's like in my head, I think I can do both. In my head, I feel like I've been successful at doing both. And the issue hasn't been being able, like, I guess, like, yeah, there are some things that I can sacrifice that I feel like I have to sacrifice in order to do both, like in some ways. But I think the biggest issue is like, I don't know what is next. And so like, that's the biggest thing that I think is the hindrance for me. But I do think that I can do both. And like, my thing is like when they leave, I also want to leave and do other stuff. Like, you know, like when they done, I want to be done. When they're done in school and all this stuff, like I don't I say this, but I don't necessarily do the things that I need to do to make this happen. But I want to like retire around 50. And so there are things that I can do now to help that to make that be for real. But I do. I want to be close
but
to
what
it.
would you do? See me, I don't want to stop working.
Yeah, I know. I want to. You want me to tell you what I would do? And here's the thing. This is probably the problematic part of it. Like, I don't know what they're gonna be doing, but whatever they're doing, I want to make sure that I'm able to see it at every twist and turn, to be able to cheer them on, to be able to be there when they need me, when they need to call me and things like that. And so I don't want to be tied down to a job during that time where I can just be, you know, there for them in a way, you know?
So I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
where our careers, right? I don't know the words to say, but so like my career, I can be wherever I want to be, right? And
Yeah.
still, you know, be effective. So like, cause my wife has a whole post kid life plan for us already. Yeah. Like she's like, we're going to buy one of those. We're going to buy an RV and travel. I was like,
I
all right.
hear so many people that want to do that. They wanna buy RVs and travel.
But she ain't like one of them RVs that attach to a vehicle. Like
No, she wanted the
she want a
RV
house
RV.
on wheels, and it must be going for like 300, $400,000. And you know, you ever see the Eddie Murphy stand up? He's talking about when you ain't had no crackers in a long time. You just like, okay,
No, but it sounds funny.
yeah. So she be selling you stuff, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever you want to do.
yeah.
But nah, but I'll send her random clips of different RVs I'll see. Like, it's nice. You know, I seen
Yeah,
one RV, it had like 5 TVs in it. I don't know what you need 5 TVs in an RV for, but
but they had them.
yeah, so, that's but back to what we were saying, I think our careers, right? It makes it's a difference. Like me, it's like I don't mind working. I wanna keep working when my kids are out the house. I think you wanna be like you got like that financial freedom thing going on, but I can't see you may not be working for a company, but you'll still be working because you're so driven to, pursue different goals. I can't see that stopping. That's just who you are. And then also what y'all need to realize is that even though Matt and even myself saying that like we do a whole lot of stuff with careers and all that stuff, we are very involved in our children's lives. I think more it's crazy how involved we are.
You wanna run down the weekend? Because we can run down the
Go
weekend.
ahead, tell the people about your weekend, bro.
So Friday, we hosted a Halloween party for our kids' friends who we just happened to be friends with their parents. So it wasn't the worst thing. So, yeah, so our kids' friends, but our kids were friends first. Then we became friends with their parents. Yeah. So we hosted a party for that. We walked around trick or treating too. Then Saturday morning, my son had a basketball game at 9, which he had played 2 games back to back. It was so funny because I love basketball so much. It's like his grandparents took him and my daughter, and I stayed at the gym and watched some more basketball for like another 2 hours. And then we came home, we took everybody shopping at Sam's Club. Shout out to Sam's Club. And then we went to bed, and guess what? We woke up and we did basketball again today for another couple of hours. And then me and my wife sat down and she said, what do they have next week? I said, my son got something every day except Thursday, but I'm gonna pick him up and he gonna come to school with me after school because I got something. And my daughter has something Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And so
And I'm gonna be real. This was a light weekend for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was a light
Yeah, we
weekend.
just didn't have no tournaments and like no performances. So I was trying to figure out why. Yeah, my wife had a wedding, so she wasn't even with us on Saturday. I'm trying to figure out why my daughter at school ain't having them perform like cheer at the basketball games. Cause I'm like, why we pay this money for this if they not gonna cheer but 3 times? Come on, y'all. I need y'all to get it together.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, and so it's like, but here's the thing, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it. I can't wait to get to the weekends to do this stuff. I can't wait to get off work to go to be a part of whatever we have in that afternoon. True, my son's gonna probably have a conflict on Wednesday because I think both of his teams are gonna practice this Wednesday, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, man,
So
I
to
don't know.
circle back around full circle, 360. Um, you received the love that's needed for you to keep pushing to be a great father, great husband.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I think that Carlos is a little older, which means his parents and grandparents are a little older. But I think now we've changed it to where I think society
Does
has
he have
changed it.
kids?
I
He
don't
got
I don't
kids, yeah.
I don't really dig into people's personal life like that. That's
Well, I
mostly
think if they're giving certain type of advice, we should know a little bit about them, right? They're making a statement on something. We should expect that they have experience in that thing.
he's probably he's probably preaching from his experience because he said he told his granddad that he
Yeah,
loved him, you know?
yeah, I hear that. I just wonder because I think that's where I think it's a little bit different because of I don't know. I feel like it got really deep, but I don't think it is necessarily that hard. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But keep going with what you were saying.
I lost track, bro. You know, once I start talking, it kind of squirrel.
But no, all I'm saying is it's just like maybe like I don't know. I just feel like it's a different perspective. Like my kids tell me all the time, but we are so our I love you household, right?
Mhm.
And so like that's just what we do. And so like my kids would just be doing something in the other room and come in the room and just give you a hug and say I love you. Right. And that's just because my wife and I will also be doing something, then go in the room, hug our kids and just tell them we love them. And so like we get from that household. And so and if I feel an ungrateful attitude or bone in this house, my wife and I are both like this. We going off. We going off.
You still got babies, dog.
I know, but we going off.
Man,
No, it happens. 4th grade girls is nothing nice. 4th
yeah.
grade girls are nothing nice.
High school girls, can give them a run for their money.
I'm pretty sure you're right. It's it's just like I just be having to like tell my wife like, did I do something to her? Like what's going on?
Yeah, bro. You about to go through it. Hey, what
And
they
so,
say, I was just messing with my wife about this. Take me through there. You about to go through it.
Lord, but yeah, she like my so this is one. No, we didn't go off on this one. We just let this one go. My wife was meal prepping some stuff, and she couldn't cook what they wanted for dinner at that exact moment. And she was like, "Well, y'all can have a Lunchable, right?" And anybody who want to judge us for feeding our children Lunchables for dinner, judge your mama. Um, and Lawrence was like, "No, I want real food." And then my son was like, "I'll take it." And then my wife was like, "Well, you have to wait until I'm done." She started to pout, and she was like, "I'll take a Lunchable." It was like I went in there and got it and put it out on the table for her. I was like, "It's in here," and she was just. My wife was like, "What's wrong with you?" She was like, "Nothing," and we just let it go. But she was mad. I was like, "Cook it yourself, then." She could because my wife was cooking using the thing. But anyway, it's just like that all the time. Just mad for no reason. I don't know. In
Hey, bro.
retrospect, the story don't even really make sense. But what
It's
happened?
good times right now. It's good times.
No, they always gonna be good times. It's always gonna be good times. Even those
All
moments are
right,
good
bro.
moments.
We should have transitioned to the next
I'm grateful for those
segment
moments.
since we talking about the kids.
Yeah,
Let me go
let's
ahead.
do it.
Let
All
me
right,
go
so
ahead.
so did you send this to me? You sent this to me,
Yeah.
the DeVal video, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what happened. So we're gonna watch this and we're gonna talk about it.
Conversation with Jack that just hit me like a ton of bricks, right? He was playing basketball, and I take him to go play up other places because he's just pretty quick and fast. So he's playing with older kids, and because he's quick and fast, older kids can't get in front of him. They start bumping him and elbowing him. This bigger kid kept elbowing him, and I pulled him aside yesterday. I said, "Yo, Jack, real talk. How many times you gonna let this dude elbow you before you elbow him back?" Now I'm pissed, right? Because I'm like, "Yo, like you're not gonna keep picking on my son." My son looked at me and said that I thought you told me to never let another man get me outside of my emotions or my alignment. And it all hit me in that moment. It's like, you see, Deval, you are raising your son with the same fears that you had as a kid, because I was always a smaller kid and I was always worried about people picking on me, that I was raising Jack the same way because I don't want him to get picked on. And I watched him in that moment go back, work through everything. Kid was elbowing him. He finished the game. He scored mad points. It made me realize how often as parents we raise our kids through the fears that we have and how we often project our fears on our kids and make them become afraid of the things that probably don't even exist. Him and the kid finished playing. He was elbowing and roughing him up. Afterwards, the kid gave him a hug. I was like, man, he was hard to guard. I was trying everything. And Jack said, nah, it's good, bro. Put that on the back and came over. And it just made me realize, like, I grew up in a different environment. I grew up very, very different. I grew up in Flatbush, going to parks with my cousins and my brothers and going to Kitten Park, Marine Park. There was no adults out there. There was no nothing. We were just out there just balling. And those fears I had of being picked on by other kids, I was projecting them on my son without even realizing it until he held the mirror up to me and said, yo, my man, didn't you tell me this? That is the true power of fatherhood, yo. Trying to raise my boys to walk and exist in the world with the emotional intelligence I didn't have at his age because I'm here to tell him. Now, my dad was around when I was growing up, but my dad worked mad hours. I was a latchkey kid. It's just different circumstances because socioeconomically we're in a different spot because my grandfather did better for my father, who did better for me. Jackson's kids are gonna have it better than he had it, and he's gonna go through the same thing with his kids. He's gonna be like, my life wasn't like this. So my message is to y'all as parents, man. Remember, your child's life is not your life. All the things you were afraid of, don't just throw it on that child. Let them go through it on their own. And when they hold up that mirror as an independent thinker that you're raising them as, don't get upset at them. Just tell listen.
I love moments when your kids enlighten you on stuff by just saying back to you what you've told them.
Yeah. Well, actually, say that again, cause
So, like,
whoa.
your kids will enlighten you on yourself a lot of times by just saying back to you things that they've told you. Like, didn't you tell me that, like, those things? Like, I get those things. It's always sons too. Can you hear me?
Uh, nah, brother. I mean, I know you talking, but it ain't
Give me
there.
a second. But I can hear you well, so you talk.
Yeah, so I don't struggle with this, and I know you're gonna try to talk stuff and say, "Oh, I'm all, Mr. Perfect" or whatever you be saying. So my main thing I try to push out is love, and then my wife had. I don't struggle with it anymore because my wife has drilled it to me. They not growing up like you growing up. They not growing up in the environment that you growing up in. So things are a little different. And it took me a while. I kind of stepped back and I let my wife take the lead on that because I didn't grow up in the same environment. I didn't come up in a mixed environment. Me really being exposed to other races didn't come until I went off to college. I mean, we had them in other cities that was nearby, but most of my city is predominantly black city, and we really ain't going outside the city much. That's where this was new to me growing up in this type of environment. But I have grown to let my kids take on their personalities, who they are. I'm adjusting to who they are in some sense, but I'm also preparing them to live in the world, because nobody's gonna show you love in the world, but you gotta be tough and stick it through. But I am letting them be who they are, and it's shocking me. Like for thing, never in a million years I thought that I would be listening to country music with my kids. Never in a million years I thought that I would be going to guitar lessons with my son. We just don't do that. We wasn't raised to do that. So I am not being stuck inside of a box. I'm open to whatever my kids want to do. I'm allowing them to do that. But
I think you're talking
and
about something
another
different.
thing is that I do admit when I'm wrong, especially with my older son. And I think that it's important to acknowledge that you're not going to always be right. And it's okay to be wrong because there's a lot of pressure on to be. People think there's a pressure people think that there's pressure to know everything. So when I'm wrong, I apologize to my son and I let him know that I'm wrong. And he's not like a teenager and he's a kid. He's still a little kid. But yeah, my boys aren't there yet to really question me on things that I've told them. Just that when I make a mistake, my oldest son to be like, "Hey," he won't even say I was wrong. I'll have to come back to him and tell him I was wrong. They don't question me yet. They think that I am the best thing since sliced bread. And it surprised me to have somebody look at me in that way.
Yeah, I think y'all talking about two different things.
But what I said earlier is that I don't have those issues where like the things that I tell them I'm wrong about, or they, you know,
It's not even about being wrong.
I acknowledge the coming up in a different environment, right? And not
Hmm.
knowing, not, I don't put my fears on them because what I do is not my fears. It's the things that I didn't have, I want to give to my kids. So like wherever I felt like there was a lack of love for me as a kid, I make sure it's there. That's why I'm there involved in all of my kids' activities, right?
Yeah.
That's why I left the military because a month after my first son was born, they deployed me, and I was like, "Oh, I'll never miss anything like this again in their lives."
Yeah, I think it has a lot more to do with the things that we intentionally teach through verbally, and the things that we actually indirectly teach through action. And so I don't think it's not as so the Val was having this super like metacognitive moment, right? I don't necessarily know if he understood in the moment when he was talking to his son Jackson about like that he was upset about this one thing because of his childhood thing. And so like I don't necessarily I think it has more to do with like not necessarily our fear, I guess our fears, but our trauma too, right? And so like there are some things that maybe they haven't gotten to. And I think if we dive deeper into it and over time, I'll be able to say this is one of those things that we were talking about.
Okay.
So like I can tell you one for me, right? And so, like I tell you about the like how important blackness is for me and teaching blackness to my kids, right? Right. We are hold on, I'm trying to figure out the right word to use when I categorize my family. Multi-ethnic. I don't know. We're a biracial family. There you go. Here we go. Let's go with that. I don't think that's the right word. And so my kids are biracial, but I do think that my prioritization of this is because of my own trauma. Prioritization of Blackness is because of my own trauma, because of like the way that I grew up, growing up in two different places, growing up in the heart of Memphis, in South Memphis, but also growing up and going to school in the suburbs of Memphis and having to continue to have to learn how to code switch, to continue to have, and then being light skinned with blue eyes or green eyes or whatever, like having to always defend my Blackness or always having to answer questions about the race of my father, my mother, because most everybody knew my dad and things like that. And so that is a very direct correlation to my own trauma that I am either trying to teach my kids differently or teach them the same, if you will. And so I don't necessarily think that it's that cut and dry with you, but I do think that we all as parents do this in some form of way, just because that's just what people do. We teach from our experiences, no matter how hard we try to go back on it. Like it's a thing that we do and we have to be watchful of it and decide if we want to continue to move in it. Like I've decided that I'm going to continue to do it regardless because like it's a huge, I think it's more than my trauma. I think it's the societal thing too. But I think we have to be watchful of it and decide if we want to choose to continue to teach our kids that way or step back and, not allow it to happen in that form or fashion. Man, I wish I could think a little bit clearer than what I am right now, but yeah.
So I have someone who works with me about my parenting skills, right?
Mhm.
It's my wife, right?
Mhm.
So anytime she talks to me about a lot about how I need to parent our children because she's aware of who I am, how I am, and where I've come from, right? And me being an optimistic person, right? It doesn't get to me the first time she tells me, but over time it works for me. A lot of my trauma, as far as my childhood trauma, I don't see myself passing it on because I think like I don't want to give the trauma. I'm aware of it. Some of the stuff like I do around my house intentionally because they are in the neighborhood that they are and they need to know just some ignorant stuff. Like the way I talk to my kids at home, I don't think everybody talks to their kids the way I talk to my kids. But that's intentionally because I don't, I want them to be able to verbally defend themselves, or I don't want them to be verbally weak, mentally weak. If somebody try to
And there it
cyberbully them,
is.
okay,
And there it is. I knew we would get to it, right? So there it is. So keep going.
yeah. So I just don't want them to be weak. Like I need you to be able to take somebody talking trash about you and not be in your feelings about it, not get upset because they're just words. You got to keep moving on. So I guess in a sense, I antagonize my kids at home, right? But in the same sense, I do that, but I also show them love. It's expected for to show your daughter love. But my son, my oldest son, he's big, right? I still pick
Yes.
him up. I still pick him up and
Stop
hold him.
picking that man up, man.
See,
Stop picking that man up. I
but
get I get
not.
picking up the youngest, but
I pick everybody up in the house and give them hugs and kisses, dog, because it's important for me to show them love because I don't want them to feel like they need love, bro, because that's what happened to most males. They grow up, go looking for love in the wrong places because they don't have that love at home. So I'm smart enough and I'm aware to know that kids needs love. Males need love. Even grown men need love because a lot of grown men still have these daddy issues that they carry, this trauma that they carry over. But that's my thing, man. And it upsets me when my kids come to me, my oldest son, and be like, so and so said this to me, and it made me sad. And I'll be like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Out of all the shit I say to you, and you upset about this, and I'll be like, just say something back, bro. Just say your mama or anything,
I stay telling them that.
But
Say
yeah,
your mama.
I'm just say something. Don't come to me telling me that somebody said something to you.
That's why I be checking with my kids.
But they do it at home. But yeah, your child do it. Well, I don't know. He does it with his friends, but does he do it with a stranger who's being, an asshole to him?
Nah, my son, he gonna tell. He gonna tell because we try to tell him to use his words first. Be like, use your words first, then tell. But
Yeah. Don't come
he
tell me.
He gonna go tell he gonna his teacher.
So don't tell no, because it was, hey, you either handle your business or when you get home, you get your ass whooped.
Like, there he goes
But
again.
I don't, but here's the thing though. It doesn't happen in my house because they're not me. They're not in my environment, bro. They don't have to worry about getting into a fight when they go to school, walking to school, getting into a fight. Like they can go to school thinking about education and having fun. I went to school thinking about, man, who I gotta fight to. I might have to fight somebody today. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to have to get ready, listen to Lil Scrappy, get hyping myself up. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that like I want no hoe or nothing, but I was like, sometimes you just don't want to. Sometimes you just want to be chill and relax and enjoy life. What you gotta walk around stressed out all the time. My kids don't have to do with that because I worked hard, not me, my wife and I worked hard so they wouldn't have to go through those things so they can live the life that they live. And I hope that as they get older that they work hard and provide their kids with a better life. But what scares me is that they have it so nice, right? Will they want to work hard? Will they know that they need to work hard? I know we're instilling like, hey, you got to work hard. It's, we putting them work ethics into our kids and we discipline them. But are they going to want to push to the next level or are they going to get out there and be like, oh man, I didn't know it was this hard. What should I do?
No, I mean, the reality is you have to add that in every level, in every aspect of the things that we teach them, that adversity has to be added. Um, and so like intentionally. And so I think that will teach them. That will teach them what you have to do. And the reality is the biggest point that your kids should be getting out of the sports that you put them in is those key elements to life, right? That's what I was watching a video on Instagram, and he was like, the different things where the way black people and white people approach sports are very different. Where black people try to use sports as a way out or a way to
Yeah.
afford upward mobility, whereas white people try to extract the characteristics from sport for life. And so it's also intentional. So you have to be intentional about having those conversations about like, nah, I need you to work hard, right? It's not necessarily about doing this, that, and the third. We might have those things as goals, but it's about working hard. Like, I'm so glad that I'm annoyed and glad that they combined the team where my son plays basketball, but I'm more excited about it because that creates additional adversity because we went from having 6 to 12 players, right? And so like that creates a different adversity. And guess what? We're not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere. So you either going to have to figure it out and figure out how you get on the court or you're going to sit. That's it. We're not going anywhere. And so I think that is a way and that's the same thing about life, right? You're going to either be successful by working hard and understanding and getting better at what you choose to do, or you're going to stay at that entry level position. Simple as that. Simple as that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You just got to make sure that you utilize what you're learning in sports for life to compete. It's still competitiveness. And
Yep.
boy, do I have the most competitive children.
Yeah, that's the environment y'all created. You said it.
Did we?
Yeah,
I really did.
that's what you said.
Sounds
But it's
like
good. It's good.
yeah. And so, but yeah, I think that's the thing, man. My kid's super competitive. I'm super competitive. My wife is super competitive, so she chooses not to play games. Like that's how competitive this household is. But my daddy was like that. My daddy was like, man, I beat my mama and spit to the line. It was like if my mom, he used to say this. He used to say, this is a real quote. It was like if I was playing one on one with my mama, I would try to break her back. That's a real quote from my father. So that's the kind of man that raised me. So yeah. So it's probably, but also might be my trauma that I'm putting on my kids, right? And so might be. I don't know. Everything ain't trauma, but you
Everything
know,
ain't trauma.
yeah. And so, which right now everything is like, if we talk about it, there's something that you're going to find on the internet that says everything is trauma. Everything is trauma, but everything ain't trauma, man. Everything
No.
ain't trauma. But yeah, man, that's the deal on that, man. It's just really important to make make sure your actions meet your words. Don't tell your kids, "Do as I say, not as I do." That's not nope, don't do it. Don't
Nah,
do it.
you
I
better do
seen that not
you better
fall
do what I
fail.
tell you to do.
Huh?
You better do what I tell you to do. Nah, I was just playing. That's why I admit when I'm wrong. I do admit when I'm
And then, you ever had a moment when you realize you're raising yourself?
I got 2 of me's.
That's what I'm saying, that be driving me crazy. Man, I realized my son is me, and he did me like I did my daddy when I was younger, about, like, I would tell my daddy stuff, and I would be like, "You don't know this, you old, you don't know this." I wouldn't say that out loud, but the way that I would communicate it is like, it wasn't what I was saying, it was how I was saying it. My son did me that way, and I text my daddy and apologize. I said, "I'm sorry." It was like, "What?" I was like, "Your grandson just did me how I used to do you, and I'm sorry." And it's just like, I don't know. I'm raising myself, and I don't like it. I
Yeah.
don't like that part.
I take that back. I got 3 of me. So my daughter, the only way she knows how to communicate with me is talking shit. And now I'm at the point
That's
like,
your
bro,
first language, though.
but now I'm at the point like, all right, bro, you getting a little older now to where you should be able to talk to me and like hold a different type of conversation with me, right?
Uh-huh.
But she'll do it for like a few seconds and then immediately back to talking shit. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk to you no more. You ain't doing talk shit. So I got that. Then I got Metal, my oldest son. He's me as a kid before the outside got to me, before I had to adjust to my environment. And then my youngest son is just me as a teenager. He don't care. He don't give a fuck. He's nice. He's nice. Don't get me wrong, because they get that from their mother. He's sweet. He's nice because he get that from his mother. He don't give a fuck. He gonna do what he want to do. Whatever the consequences are, he gonna take them and then continue to go back to doing whatever it was he was doing.
But it's like, it ain't teenage stuff.
It's the act. It's the things that you see. It's like, bro, you just got in trouble for this, and you went right back to doing it. Like, you took your discipline and went right back to doing what you was doing, which means you don't care. Which I was like that when I was a teenager. All right, bro, what you gonna suspend me? Do whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna do my time, and then I'll be right back at it.
Is it home discipline or school discipline? Those
It's
are two
home
different things.
discipline. No, even when I was at home, like I would be like, all right, what's up? You gonna whoop me? I'll take my whooping, lay low for a little bit, then come right back, spin a block.
I think that's just youngest stuff.
Maybe.
That's
I
some
am the
youngest
youngest,
stuff.
yeah.
That's just some youngest stuff. Uh, it's yeah. He ain't like that. Well, my kids afraid of me a little bit. They don't want that. They don't want me to be upset. But I
Are
be
they
telling them
afraid of
like,
you,
just
or they're
tell,
afraid of
just
making you
I.
sad? Are they afraid of you, or they don't wanna make you sad?
They're not afraid. They don't want to disappoint.
Yeah.
And they don't want to disappoint. And so I be trying to like teach them, like, so if I ask about something and they tell the truth, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's like, go to your room. But if I ask about something and they lie, then we got a problem. And
Just
9 times
wait.
out of 10, if I ask about it, I already know. So we've
Just
been
wait.
learning. Huh?
Just wait.
We've been learning. I'm trying to get it now. I'm trying to teach it now because
Hey,
as a teenager, we're very opposite individuals, by the way. But as a teenager, like I stopped lying and I just started to tell the truth. And it was cool. And so like I would start like, you about to get this phone call. This is what happened at school. All right. So just so you know
see,
what
that's
what's
where we different, bro. See,
that's how
me
and then it helped.
me nah,
It
me,
helped.
I'm going home when I'm deleting that voicemail before my moms can get to it.
Mm-mm.
I'm
Because
deleting that voicemail, dog. And I got the phone. I'm waiting by the phone all day for the school to call. I got it. I got it.
now see
Deleting
my
the
mom,
deleting the caller ID and everything. It never happened.
if
Take the
she would have
phone.
found out that I did that, I would have had a black eye.
Boy, I used to forge signatures and everything.
I used to do that, but I used to tell them.
Nah, nope.
I was like, I could need to just sign this permission slip or this, that, and the third. This not so great paper. I don't. This actually started in middle school. I got my progress report and I had like 2 F's on it. And my dad was supposed to come pick me up for basketball practice. I called him and I was like, He was like, "What's up?" I was like, "You ain't gonna want to pick me up." And he was like, "Why?" I was like, "I got 2 Fs." He said, "You right. I don't want to pick you up." Hung up the phone. And hung up the phone, man. And so like, but that was better than a whooping.
So, nah, yeah, I guess.
It was. And I was back at practice a week later. My grades was up. Like I
Um,
already knew what the expectation was. I wasn't meeting it. Why I'm mad about it? Why I'm trying to hide it? And I can just fix it.
I can fix it before you know about it. But I
No,
got
it's too
my mom.
late.
My mom told me, she was like, "Man, I don't really care what's going on as long as your grade's good." So me, I was like,
So you was around fucking around and getting a 4.1.
"Bam, there you go." Boy, because I'm trying to tell you. So I had when I was in high school, I had honors classes and it was like mandatory. Like you needed them classes to complete high school. And they gave me this messed up schedule, dog. They gave all my honor classes were after lunch except for English, which was first hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bruh, why would y'all do that? So I gotta be I have to go to first hour. And then after that, I'm hopping in my car and I'm leaving, bro. And I'll be back after lunch. Cause
So you
coach
was
always
feeling
came to
what?
school after lunch. I wasn't feeling nothing.
So how you didn't go to those classes?
Cause I was him. You know what I'm saying?
See, that be the stuff. It sounds like you got over from being on the basketball team.
Nah, bro. Coach was there, you know. I was
Exactly. So exactly.
no. He was there making sure our grades was right. Man, we had
Oh, that sound even worse. You need to clean that up.
it don't. Cause he wasn't doing us no favors.
It sound worse. You
Nah,
said you weren't going to class,
uh-huh.
but you had your grades.
I showed up on test days.
You could never pass at my school with it.
I definitely could. I can go to sleep and pass the class.
I would feel some conflict that you passed the test, but you did failed all your homework,
But
all
you
your
would hate no,
classwork.
I got my homework done.
You
Yeah,
didn't
come
do no
on.
classwork. You weren't there.
It don't matter. Test day.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I would have some conflict that you passed the test, but you didn't do the classwork. But
That's your fault. You deal with that conflict. I got my grades, sir.
no, you wouldn't have. I'm saying you wouldn't have in
So
my
you
school.
mad at me for showing up on test day, right?
No, I'm mad at you for not coming to school.
I came to school. I was at first hour.
You also probably couldn't. It's harder to do that with how we teach now.
Yeah, it's different now. I don't
Yeah,
know
so
what
it's harder to do that.
because y'all can't even miss like what you can't even miss 3 or 4 days of school now.
Now that's out here. It's just a struggle where I am.
Yeah, bro. I
Folks
went
missing
on,
a lot.
man. Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I still passed. I was smart. So
Bro, go to school. Everybody listening to this, go to class. Do what you're supposed to do.
yeah, do what you're supposed to do. Get good grades.
That's okay. Whatever you did, you know you're gonna get. So be ready.
I don't care. Hey, if them grades ain't right, that's your ass.
I know. That's what I'm
Mr.
saying. It's
Postman.
remember that remind them that it's different from what you was like, what it was school was like when you was coming up.
They don't know what it's like because I don't even mention stuff like that to them.
But you need to. But you gonna
I
have to because they
don't.
gonna figure it out anyway.
It has nothing to do with hey, all they need to
Let me
know
tell you.
is
Let me tell you how I know that they gonna do it anyway because they act like you and you ain't tell them.
but the deal is they still got hey, them grades need to be right. So if your grades ain't right,
You
there
had
will
that.
and my grades were right. That's what I'm
I
saying.
understand,
My
but I'm
grades are
telling you,
right.
they can't do the same thing you did to get the grades that you got. It's
But they
different.
not coming up in the same where are they gonna go? They miss one class, they get a
This
phone the school's
okay.
calling them.
First of all, I'm not talking about now.
No,
I'm
I'm
talking
talking about older. They miss a class, school's calling.
that don't matter. And they not already missed it at that point.
So where was you at? We got phones. I'm tracking you. Where you at? Why you ain't in school?
Telling you, that's
Why
okay.
you doing this?
You think, all right, this is 20. This will be 20,
30.
30 something? Bro, you just wait.
I'm gonna be at home, bro. I'm gonna
You don't know that. That's 10 years away.
you think I'm gonna go back into an office and work? No,
You don't know. It might. I don't know.
no, I'm not
We
going
don't know
back in,
what the next decade is gonna hold.
bro. Let me tell you something. I be tripping myself out because how the hell I be late for work and work is in the next room?
Oh my God. That's a problem.
Hey, you only talking down on me because you ain't there. Because if you was there, you'd be like, dang, I see what Trey talking about.
No. I can't do that.
And here, I thought it was just me, but it be other people too. Like other
Right? Yeah,
people
I
I
can't
work
do
with.
it. I can't do that. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm ever late to somewhere, I'm intentionally late.
You just be walking around the house doing stuff and you be like, oh shit, I gotta work.
If I'm ever late, I'm intentionally like it's something that I really I'm either really tired or I'm just intentionally late. And I'm like, I know I'm gonna be like, I'm like, well, I'll be late because I was raised not to be late. My daddy did some damage on me. He did some damage on me. That man, I used to be at high school 30 minutes early.
That's good. He's how it's supposed to be. When you gotta show up at the office, at the job, you're supposed to be there.
High school.
Yeah.
There was nowhere for me to go. I
Outside?
was outside.
Somewhere to go
And
outside?
then guess what? When I started driving, guess what? I was at high school 30 minutes early. Most of the time, I'm at work 30 minutes early. And guess what? I don't even have to be there. And so
Bro.
I just don't know how, when you had that event at your house, what you say when I pulled up? Y'all would be on time. That's exactly what he said to me. That's exactly what he said to me. And guess what? I tried my best to be late. I tried my best. I don't know
Hey,
how.
but I do show up to things on time and a
Except
little bit early.
work. Except work.
Because it's a chill environment. Shout out to management for creating that environment. What type of
That is
environment are
not a.
it is. Get the
It
work
is.
done. It's hey, all right, I'm not about to argue with you about this.
I'm just telling you, all the books I read, that ain't one of them. That ain't in there.
I'm in my relaxed mode in my life while I'm still pursuing things. I'm complacent right now. So let me be.
Is that why can you use a different word? Complacent has a negative connotation.
That's for each person to take on, bro. Because you know what I got going on in my life. You know I'm not complacent, but in the same sense, to the average person, I'm complacent. Yes, on the
No.
outside looking in, you'd be like, he's just complacent. But I got things going on.
Nobody's outside looking in though.
You
I
don't know
think
who's
that's also
looking.
where we mess it up too. We think we have main character syndrome.
I don't.
Hmm?
I don't.
You literally just had a main character syndrome comment.
But I'm saying if you was to
But nobody really is though, is what I'm saying.
but if you was to like, all right, let's say for instance we had a game, right?
What game?
Any
Like a
game.
baseball game?
Baseball game, basketball game, right? And you seen us over there just talking, you wouldn't think we got anything going on than the average Joe. That's what I'm
Why would
saying.
even but okay, so my question is, why would anybody just if they just see us talking, why would anybody care about that? Like why would that be the thought that comes
Because
in their
when
head?
you see something like sometimes you see somebody walk in a room, like some people demand a room, right? They can control the
Mhm.
room, right? And you be like, oh damn, they got this, that you assuming that they got this, that, and the third going on, right? Because of how they demand a room or their presence, right? But
I ain't
you
met a
just
whole lot
said
of
that.
people like that.
You just said you see when somebody demand a room. You said you've seen people around that, so you think that they have some type of.
And I'm saying I ain't met a whole lot of people like that.
I'm not saying a whole lot, but you know that there's people like that.
I'm trying to think of I can't like name one person that I'm like, ooh, this person commands the room. Because I got main character syndrome and I think I do.
Yeah. Hey,
So
but like I was saying.
what? I'm just saying. I ain't gonna.
All
I
right,
have to talk myself down. I have to be like,
let me try this
folks
from a
don't even
different
care
angle.
about you like that. I have to say that to myself.
We don't brag about the things that we do often, right?
Yeah.
But since we're not bragging, it seems like we're not doing anything. How about that? Yeah, that sounds much better. I don't care if you agree with that or not. That was a good
I
one.
don't, but okay. I got
That's
you.
fine.
I get what you're saying.
I knew you wasn't, because that's just that's who you are.
What you trying to say? I'm a argumentative person?
Nah, you just don't agree with things from my perspective.
Non-agreeable?
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's a word.
So I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Bro, nobody thinks you complacent. Let me tell you why. Because nobody ain't thinking about it.
All right, I'm clipping it up.
It's just the reality of it.
No, let me mark this clip.
You probably do. It's just like, no, like we always think somebody thinking this, that, and the third of us. We always think we got haters and this, that, and the third. Don't nobody care about you.
I don't have haters. You
Don't
can't
nobody
hate on.
care.
You can't hate
Ain't
on me. There's
nobody.
nothing to
Folks
hate on
got
me
too
about.
much, huh?
There's nothing to hate on me about.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. None of us, though. That's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna say none of us. The majority of us. People are not that interested in our lives.
I'm not a hateable person though.
What? Okay, fine, Trey. You're not a hateable person. That has nothing to do with my point.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care about your point at this time.
See, here we go. Now, here we go.
I don't care.
Because you got main character syndrome. You don't care about my point because what you need the people to know is that you're not even a person that can be hated on because I'm not hateable.
Yeah.
Main character syndrome.
All right, bro. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for it, man.
Look,
Where am I?
here's what I want the people to understand and know. Hey, life is full of ups and downs, and we all working out something. We all got something that we working out and we working through. And sometimes you need a good lifeline to help you through that. All we can tell you is through our perspective of how we see the world and how we've tried to overcome the obstacles in our lives. And so hope that what we've shared has been helpful for whoever got an opportunity to listen because that's all we want. We want to just help one person with that's struggling with something that we're struggling with or have struggled with, and want to see hopefully be a word of encouragement to them and provide that lifeline when you need it. All right, y'all. Peace.